The Lockheed brothers, early aviation engineers, developed an interest in flight shortly before the First World War. Allan Lockheed believed that airplanes would soon become the fastest and safest mode of transportation in the world. But within a few decades, the world was already bracing for another global conflict, World War II. Automakers shifted gears to making tanks and armored vehicles, while aviation pioneers began competing to build the most capable military aircraft, the new driving force of 20th century warfare. Among those caught up in this rapid arms race was Lockheed, though by that time, the company was no longer run by its founders. The challenging times compelled the company to enter the defense industry. Lockheed's first major success in military aviation came with the Hudson bomber, developed for the Royal Air Force. In the late 1930s, Britain was ramping up its preparations for the impending war, so much so that domestic industry couldn't keep up with demand. That's when they turned to the United States. Lockheed proposed a modified version of their Electra transport aircraft, a relatively fast, reliable, and versatile twin-engine design. This configuration gave the Hudson solid flight performance, long range, and decent payload capacity. What sealed the deal was Lockheed's competitive pricing and rapid production timeline. The British ordered several hundred aircraft, and it paid off. The Hudson quickly proved itself in action. Other countries soon took notice as well, though that led to an unfortunate mix-up. On February 15, 1942, Allied forces on the island of Sumatra mistook incoming Japanese Ki-56 aircraft, which were essentially close relatives of the Hudson, for friendly planes and nearly failed to stop a landing force. The Hudson may have been Lockheed's first military breakthrough, but it wasn't the most important. That title belongs to the P-38 Lightning, the most widely produced twin-boom fighter in history. The initial concept came from military aviators Benjamin Kelsey and Gordon Saville, who envisioned a heavy interceptor, a fast, twin-engine aircraft designed to engage enemy bombers at high altitudes, while still being agile enough for air-to-air combat. To make that vision a reality, Lockheed formed a special, top-secret division to develop next-generation aircraft under the leadership of Clarence Kelly Johnson and Hall Hibbard. It was Johnson who proposed the unique twin-boom layout with a central nacelle that allowed the Lightning to carry powerful weaponry without compromising its flight performance. The result was a remarkably effective aircraft. This heavy fighter turned out to be a true threat to high-altitude targets, not just bombers. Thanks to smart engineering decisions, especially those from Johnson, the P-38 could even dogfight with single-engine fighters. P-38 pilots racked up numerous kills, including against high-profile adversaries. In fact, it was a squadron of Lightnings that intercepted and shot down the plane of Japanese Marshal Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the mastermind behind the attack on Pearl Harbor. But Lockheed didn't rest on the Lightning's undeniable success. Their next breakthrough came with the P-80 Shooting Star, America's first truly mass-produced jet fighter. Once again, Kelly Johnson and his Skunk Works team took the lead, working under intense secrecy. The project was so secret, in fact, that many team members didn't even know they were building a jet. The aircraft was designed as a response to Germany's Me-262 jet fighter and featured many hallmarks of early jet-age design: a straight wing and an all-metal monoplane layout. One of its key strengths was its powerful Allison J-33 engine, which pushed the P-80 to speeds of 800 kilometers an hour and beyond. Despite the rush, the US managed to catch up to German engineers in just 1 year and produced one of the most advanced aircraft of its time. Technically, pre-production P-80s were delivered to units as early as winter 1945, but the jet never saw combat in World War II. It did, however, remain in service with many air forces around the world, although not usually in its original form. The fighter version of the Shooting Star became outdated fairly quickly, but the trainer variant, the T-33, kept flying until as late as 2017. During the Cold War, Lockheed became one of the leading players in the U.S. defense industry. The company developed many of the U.S. military's key transport aircraft, while the Skunk Works division, under Kelly Johnson's guidance, was behind some of the most iconic combat aircraft in history. These included the F-104 Starfighter, a staple of NATO air forces, and the F-117 Nighthawk, the first operational stealth aircraft. Johnson helped guide Lockheed through nearly every major phase of aviation in the 20th century, from piston-powered monoplanes and twin-boom World War II fighters to supersonic jets and faceted stealth bombers like the F-117. Of course, not every Skunk Works project was a hit. The famously crash-prone F-104, for instance, made many engineers worldwide wary of single-engine fighters. But Johnson's sharp mind and no-nonsense management style, famously intolerant of anything unnecessary, often led to extraordinary results. In the 1990s, Lockheed merged with Martin Marietta, another defense industry titan known for developing missiles like the Bullpup and Shalala. Under the new name Lockheed Martin, the company continued into the 21st century, focused on building the aircraft of the future. The Lockheed brothers had once dreamed of making flight safe and fast for everyone, but history took their company in a different direction. While Lockheed did indeed build transport aircraft, it was their combat planes that made them truly famous. So, which Lockheed aircraft is your favorite? Share your pick in the comments down below.